In the first two parts of this series, we learned about the history of coal in eastern Kentucky and how its decline has impacted the day-to-day lives of Kentuckians. In this part, we'll look at a side of Appalachia that you don't normally hear about.
Stop defining the Appalachian region by poverty. There are a lot of good things that are happening in Appalachia. Our people here, our mountains, our music, our culture, our food.
I've always had a very particular way of looking at Appalachia, a way that's been defined by poverty. But on a recent trip, I learned that Appalachia is so much more. Despite the region going to Donald Trump in the 2016 election, the people I met didn't have much faith in what any politician, including the president, could do for them. Instead, they're depending on themselves and their communities.
I think, we're one of the last places that it's socially acceptable to make fun of and still be considered progressive.
People still think that we wear no shoes and have no teeth and live with dirt floor homes, and that's just, we're just regular people too.
And it's just hard to leave these mountains, I guess that's why they call us hillbillies, Once a hillbilly, always a hillbilly.
In these mountains, people are still trying to come to grips with the reality of life after coal.
I'll say it right in front of this camera. The sooner the people wise up and figure out coal's not coming back, the better off eastern Kentucky's gonna be.
What we really need is a diversified economy. And we're not gonna have a diversified economy if we always have it in our minds that we have to be subservient to the coal industry.
Driving around eastern Kentucky, it's obvious that the region is struggling with the declining coal industry. Homes lie abandoned by people who have fled the region, and the most prevalent businesses seem to be fast food restaurants. But if you stumble over the mountain to a town called Whitesburg in Letcher County, you might find, like I did, a busy place with a couple of restaurants, a media and art center, even 2 competing tattoo parlors. In other words, some hope for the future of an economy without coal. For the owners of Heritage Kitchen, a new restaurant in town, moving to Whitesburg was a homecoming.
I'd always wanted to be back home. These mountains have a draw on people that are from here, even people that visit, like Daryl, kind of got attached.
I was a cost accountant for a Fortune 500 company in Lexington. I wanted to do something that I really, truly enjoyed, and I love to cook. So when we had the opportunity to move, it just was a natural fit.
Unlike so many who have left the region looking for work, Brad and Daryl wanted to move back to help revitalize their community.
Hopefully we're part of the economic solution here. We're trying to work with local farmers to create a network of locally grown food, and that's been very, very successful and promising for us.
Whitesburg has responded well to Heritage Kitchen. After just over a year of opening, Brad and Daryl already want to add a coffee shop and grow their catering business.
His family actually discouraged us from coming here. They said the business climate here is so bad, you'll never make it. It will be so hard on you. But there's this sense that you can create your own destiny here.
We have a daughter, her name's Brooklyn, she's 8 years old, and she's great. I hope she doesn't feel the necessity or the need to go away from here to do what she wants to do.
She wants to be a paleontologist, so I don't know how much she can do here, but...
I think everybody here at some point goes through the idea of like, oh, I hate this place, I want to leave. But then, you just go a little bit farther than your own backyard and you find people that are a whole lot more like you than you ever thought of, and you're like, well, maybe I don't have to leave where I want to be to feel like I belong or do what I really want to do.
Aside from small businesses, there are some bigger possibilities for Appalachia which could really help turn things around. One of those things is the Reclaim Act.
The Reclaim Act is a bill that's in Congress that would use $1 billion to put people in coal communities to work reclaiming abandoned coal mines and creating economic opportunities on those mines once they're reclaimed.
For years, coal companies were required to pay into a fund to clean up mines once the work there was done. That money could now be used to create jobs and start new projects like solar or wind farms. According to a recent survey, 89% of Appalachians, both Democrats and Republicans, support the Reclaim Act. But first, it has to clear Congress and get a signature from the president.
When you have a plan in these communities, then there is hope there for what can come next. People can see where they're going.
And in addition to the Reclaim Act, many former coal miners, like Carl, are talking about the need for a cleaner and more environmentally friendly energy industry, which means moving away from surface mining, a highly destructive process which has been ongoing since the 70s that flattens mountaintops, destroys forests, and pollutes waterways.
I think renewable energy could work here in these mountains. I really do. This type of land, you could, where it's level and stuff now, you could use it to put these solar panels on it. You could really do some stuff like that here and create a lot of jobs.
And it's job creation that Eastern Kentucky and the rest of Appalachia needs. But as I learned, in order for its economy to successfully transition out of coal, Appalachia is going to need every new opportunity it can get.
I do hope that we can find a way to put things back together ourselves instead of relying on an industry coming back in, because an industry coming in and leaving is what put us where we are right now.
If anybody's watching this that has a lot of investment capital, this is the place to come to. It just takes the sense of entrepreneurship, which is already here. People here just need capital and funding, and the ideas are here that they could be successful with.
We're here and we're ready to, fight and make our home better for all of us.
I just foresee a very vibrant Eastern Kentucky coming back alive, and I hope I live to see it.
Leaving Eastern Kentucky was bittersweet. The region is clearly struggling without coal, but I also found that it's rich with culture, good ideas, and a resilience that I never could have imagined. So while we're in Eastern Kentucky, we learned a lot about what the transition from coal looks like. Check out part 1 and part 2 of our series, where you can learn exactly why coal was such a big deal in the first place and how its decline is hurting the everyday people living there.